Welcome to Greek Verse a Day. Today we'll be translating Revelation 1:7. So as always, I encourage you to have your reader's edition handy, work from it, and look to the screen for some help. So we'll do two read-throughs of the text, one slow, one fast, give you a second to pause, make what you will of the verse, and then I'll jump in for help. So let's go ahead and go nice and slow the first time around. Idou, erkatai, mata, ton, nephalon. Kai opsatai auton pas ophthalmos. Kai hoitenes auton ex ekinateson. Kai kopsantai ep auton pasai hi fulai tes ges. Nai, amen. One more time, a little bit faster. Idou, erkatai, mata, ton, nephalon. Kai opsatai auton pas ophthalmos. Kai hoitenes auton exakinteson. Kai kopsantai ep auton pasai hi fulai tes ges. Nai, amen. So, I'll give you a second here to pause and make what you will of the verse. So if you remember what came previously in Revelation 1:6, we had a doxology to Jesus where Jesus was given praise. This doesn't technically continue the doxology, but it does say more about Jesus. So when we come to our first verb, which is going to be right here, Jesus is going to continue to be the subject. So let's start from the first line and just make our way down. Notice that in each one of these lines, except for the last one, we're going to have an indicative verb. So I'm just going to go ahead and underline all of our indicative verbs. And the subjects are sometimes going to be embedded in the verbs. Sometimes we're going to have explicit subjects in the nominative case, and they're going to come in different positions. Sometimes the subject will come before the verb, and sometimes the subject will come after the verb in the clause. And remember that Greek word order is very flexible, that Greek is a highly inflected language. So it can move the words around because it makes grammatical sense, not on the basis of word order, but on the basis of what cases words are in. So starting with our first line here, idou, this is an interjection that means behold. So look or behold. Erkatai, here we have a present middle indicative third singular from erkomai. So notice our middle here is going to be a deponent verb. Remember, deponent verbs are middle in form, but active in meaning. So this is going to be behold, he comes. So he is still coming actively. It is him, Jesus, doing it, even though we have a middle form, because it is middle deponent. It has set aside this word, erkomai, has set aside its active forms and uses middle forms instead for the active meaning. He comes, and then a prepositional phrase after it, mata ton nephalon. So mata with the genitive, we have a genitive plural here, is going to mean with, and namely with the clouds. The nephalon are clouds. Kai opsatai. So here we have a future middle, and again, this one is going to be deponent, indicative, third person singular. This one from harao, our to be verb. So opsatai takes a middle deponent from harao. So it goes and uses those middle deponent endings in the future tense. And you can kind of get a sense of the future from the sigma that's embedded in that psi. Remember, there's sort of a sigma often hiding in the psi there. So that's oftentimes how I remember that this is future, is because that psi has the sigma that sounds like the future that we're accustomed to with other future tense verbs. So he, she, or it will see. And what they will see is auton. We have our personal pronoun in the accusative case here, which is referring back to Jesus. So he, she, or it will see him. And then after the object, here is where we actually have the subject of the sentence. pas ophthalmos. So an optometrist is one who works on eyes, an eye doctor, coming from the Greek word ophthalmos. So this is eye in the nominative masculine singular with pas going with it in the nominative masculine singular, meaning every. So every eye will see him. Kai hoitenes auton ex ekente son. So this verb over here is aorist. Notice that saw in there, and then the new ending is going to be our plural. Son is our third person plural. So we have an aorist, active, indicative, third plural, and this verb is from ekkinteo, and I might as well go ahead and write this one down. Ekkinteo, not a common, let's redo my epsilon there, it got a little sideways. Not a very common verb in the New Testament, but you'll notice a couple things here. It is a compound verb. It has a preposition at the beginning of it, ek, and then kinteo, and it's also a contract verb. Notice the epsilon stem vowel. So that's why we're going to get the lengthening to the eta when that sigma alpha of the aorist is added on. And then the augment of the aorist, remember past tense verbs and the indicative are going to get an augment, and it gets it between the preposition and the stem or the root of the verb. So the augment is stuck between there, and when that augment has been stuck in there, the kappa has gone to an xi. So we've had a change in letter there. But this is going to mean to pierce. So they pierced, and who they pierced, again, our object is auton. They pierced him. And then our subject comes before the verb in this case with hoi tenes. This is an indefinite relative pronoun. So we get the relative from the hoi right in here. Notice the rough breathing mark. Remember, rough relative, rough breathing mark, relative pronoun. And then the ten there looks like the indefinite pronoun that you know that stands on its own. Tis, tenos in the nominative and in the genitive. So this is sort of a combination of a relative and an indefinite pronoun, meaning whoever. And in this case, it's nominative plural. This third declension epsilon sigma ending is the nominative plural. So whosoever pierced him. So then moving on to kai kopsantai. Again, we have a future, middle, and deponent again. Indicative, third person, plural ending in this case. On tai is the plural ending here. And so this is going to be the verb for mourning. So, and they will mourn ep auton. So this is a case where John has done something a little funky grammatically. This is technically the object of the mourning, ep auton. We could have the same meaning essentially without the prepositional phrase, without the ep. So the idea is they're mourning on him or about him, and not simply him, not just mourning him, but mourning about him. And so it gives, the ep does give a little bit nuance, but we could have just auton be the object of the sentence as well. They will mourn him. And then the subject, the ones doing the mourning, are pasai, hai, fulai, tes, geis. So all the tribes of the earth. Hai, fulai are the tribes, a nominative feminine plural. The tribes, tes, geis in the genitive, of the earth, and then the pasai here meaning all. So all the tribes of the earth will mourn him. Nai, amen. Nai, even though it sounds like no, actually means yes. This is the word for yes. Yes, amen. Just a sort of a concluding punctuation there. Yes, amen. So let's put it all together. Idu, well, let's just go in English. Sorry. Behold, he comes with the clouds, and every eye will see him, and all who or whosoever pierced him. So these are sort of being included in every eye seeing him. Every whosoever pierced him, and every tribe of the earth will mourn him or about him Yes. Amen.